Hey everybody, how you doing? Uncle Vinny here. You know what's coming up? That's right, Health Chat. Grab a cup of coffee, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Dr. Nick Circolone, you're listening to Health Chat. I am so excited to be here. We're getting ready to start a program in the office where we're changing lifestyles. We're not just like eating different food, but we're going to change lifestyles. I binged because I knew my life was going to change differently. You remember I told you I turned 60 this year, and my wife and I both, she'll be 57 in January. And we were talking, and we want to make a lifestyle change. We're in pretty good shape. We've been working out, not been eating right, but we've still been working out. We've still been having a good time. But now it's time to kind of buckle down. We know like this binge eating is probably not the best thing for us, even though we eat good all the time and then we binge eat. I was talking to my cousin one year. What they do is they eat really, really good during the week. Like 5 days a week, they eat good. And then Saturday and Sunday, they just binge eat and eat garbage that they want to eat. And I'm thinking, that's not a really good, healthy way of eating. So we're going to be talking today to two lovely young ladies, and they're going to give you testimonies about how their life has changed and what has changed about it. One of the things that I find now is as I'm older, there's certain foods that actually aggravate me, giving me headaches, making my joints hurt. And what we're going to talk about today with these lovely young ladies, it's Mary and Jeanette. When tell us their story, because it's fascinating what's changed in their life just by changing their lifestyle and changing the way they eat, changing the way they think, and the way they approach life now versus what they did prior to this transformation. I want you guys to hear what's going on and how they've actually made a change in their life. Without further ado, let's introduce Mary first. How are we doing, Mary?
Hey, Dr. Nick. I am doing fantastic today. Thank you. Wasn't it a lovely fall day?
It is. It's wonderful out there. I'm having way too much fun though tonight. I think and Joe is, and I don't know if I really want to hear what you're talking about. It's one of those things where I'm excited and nervous at the same time.
No, it's been an amazing journey. I'm excited to share with you guys.
Where did it start? I mean, we're talking about the transformation that you've made, but what made you decide, number one, to do to make that transformation?
Well, funny story. I literally the day I had no pants, I could sit and breathe in. Thought, oh gosh, something's got to change. I have tried to quote be healthy for a really long time. I'm only 5 feet tall, so I've struggled with my weight my whole life. My husband and I had 4 kids, all 5 years apart, and so I'd be way too heavy pregnant, lose some weight, never enough. So it just became a decades-long struggle for me. But not just that, I wasn't feeling good. Even with efforts of trying to be healthy and eat healthy things, I wasn't feeling good a lot of the time with blood sugar issues. So, I met Jeanette through theater. My husband and her kids have been in shows together, and, I was complaining about things, right? Because I wasn't feeling good, and she whipped out her phone. She said, well, I'd love to share how we lost 180 pounds as a family. So, I'm sitting with a real live person looking at actual pictures. And, I went home and I said, I just can't figure this out on my own. So Jason was super supportive. He said, I think you should do that. I said yes, wound up losing 4.2 pounds my first week and started feeling amazing and was like, wow, I've never done that before, So I wound up losing 40 pounds in just over 17 weeks, which also blew my mind. The best part that I tell people, though, is, you know what? I feel great. I feel better at 52 than I did at 32. So go figure, and the difference in lifestyle and how we eat now I can't even compare. So it just changed so much for our family.
So let me ask you this question. You lost how many pounds in 17 weeks? 40 pounds?
I lost 40 pounds in 17 weeks by being compliant, meaning following the program, eating what you're supposed to eat, not cheating, right? There are a lot of things that we know not to eat, but when you get into a a steady fat burn and you're losing weight, it is super motivating to stick to that plan. So that's what I did.
So wait a minute. So you're telling me you lost, I keep going through this, 40 pounds in 17 weeks. So what you're telling me is that you ate garbanzo beans and grass in the backyard.
No.
That's it.
No.
I mean, I gained 5 pounds looking at pasta, so I don't know how that works out. So, but 40 pounds, here's the thing. When I hear 40 pounds in 17 weeks, my mind goes, man, how could that be healthy? As a doctor, how could that be healthy? But now I know the backstory to some of this, so I could say it. Yeah. This is all science-based. So it's not something you're not taking it. You're not doing any injections, are you?
No.
You're not. Are you taking any pills?
No.
You're not taking little fat tablets that they had on Shark Tank?
No.
Not eating those. Okay. So I'm just asking. But yeah. This is amazing, because what you've done is this program that we were talking about literally changes your life by not only changing what you eat, but actually making sure that your body's healthy in what you're eating. Am I correct in saying that?
Absolutely. Yeah. Like I said, feeling better than I ever have in my whole life. That's incredible to me, that at 52, that's the case. And as you know my husband, and he wound up doing program and lost 32 pounds, and also feels better now than ever. So yeah, pretty transformative for us.
Mary, when you did all of this, was it hard? Was your family not involved? Or, I mean, you said Jason was involved, but how about your kids? Because, you have children at home, you're changing your lifestyle, you're changing the way you eat. What possesses, or not possesses, but what did they feel about all of this?
Yeah, sure. Honestly, Dr. Nick, it was such a struggle in my health for so long, not feeling well and having the blood sugar issues, that this was an amazing change. I mean, literally for decades before, we would be driving around with 1, 2, 3, 4 kids, however many at the time. And all of a sudden, and it didn't matter how well I had tried to eat and, snack the right things, all of a sudden I wouldn't feel good. And, we'd never know, was it for the day? Was it for the evening? Was it for, the week that I wasn't feeling good? So when we transitioned into this program, and I always felt good and I always felt like doing stuff, and I was getting better sleep and I was staying up later to be with the family instead of crashing at 9 o'clock. Oh my goodness, they were incredibly supportive, and honestly, the trickle down effect with the kids, they wound up having meals, because we were changing how we did dinner and other meals, and they would ask for things that they also loved and enjoyed. So it was amazing for us, to feel good, biggest part. And obviously losing the weight was amazing. All I kept were my socks and shoes.
Except, and not the pants. I don't want to use the D word, that 4-letter word, but there's a lot of diet programs out there. I said it. Oh my gosh, I said it. There's a lot of diet programs out there that are actually, a lot of people are doing them, but once they're done, they fail. I mean, they fail miserably. They gain all of that weight back. It comes back, and it's very discouraging. But with the program that you and I had talked about and Jeanette had talked about, that failure rate is pretty slim.
Yes. If you follow the program, if you allow the coaches to transition you properly into that healthy lifestyle week by week, you're going to keep the weight off and you're going to feel great. That's the way it's designed.
I'm still a skeptic, when it comes to things like this.
Oh, I was.
Well, and I was too. And I was going to, we talked about this a little bit before. One thing that got me involved in this was actually seeing patients that actually had gone through the program and have made a huge change. And it's almost like a religious thing, because it's a testimony for them that they want to tell everybody about, because they're so excited. Not only are they, but here's the great part. And I mentioned it earlier about all this medicine that people are taking for all kinds of diseases. And we talked about on the show before, two of the major ones, heart disease and diabetes, are reversible, or pretty much reversible, by
Pretty much.
eating the right food and changing your lifestyles. So a lot of times what happens is I'm seeing all these people on all this medicine, and then it's like, how are we going to get them not off the medicine? Because I don't put people on medicine. I don't take people off of medicine, but some people want to get off of it. Some people don't. I mean, that's just an obvious. It's easier for them to take it than to do something that's proactive. I mean, it's simpler to take a pill than it is to work hard. I'm just going to say that. But if they're motivated, and when I talked to the one patient that had done this, she was telling me that her and her husband combined have lost, I want to say 140 pounds, but got off of all their medications. Now that's incredible to be able to get off of all your medications. What's interesting is to be able to see the transformation of someone gaining and then losing gained all this weight, then lost it, maintained it. See, that's important to me, is maintaining that, and being able to sit back and live through this lifestyle without taking any medication. That just amazes me. So I don't know what.
Yeah, it's an incredible thing. I've had clients the same, obviously under their primary care.
And I want to get Jeanette on the phone, because her story actually talks about how her physicians weren't so keen about this idea and said, you can't do anything. And I thought that was interesting, because when I hear someone saying you can't do something, that makes me want to do that even more. So I don't understand why someone would belittle, and I don't want to use the word belittle, but be negative about what you can really do by changing your lifestyle. Now, again, we're not talking about dieting. We're talking about a lifestyle change. Yes, there's food involved in this, but this program is not just eating food. It's having a coach that's helping you along. It's having accountability, and you're able to actually have someone and go, I'm in your corner because I've been where you are. Now, that's amazing to me. We have Jeanette on the line, and Jeanette, the question I asked was, what motivated you to change and lose 180 pounds? I want to hear this, because you told me part of the story, and I want to hear this. And I want to hear the discouraging people, or the discouraging words that came from people in an authority.
Yes, sir. So imagine 38 years old. You go to the cardiologist because your family history for heart disease is just outrageous. My mom had bypass surgery at 55 years old. Her father and his siblings, they had 7 siblings. 2 siblings lived past 60 years old. Every death was cardiac, all 7. Okay. Both their parents, just a lot of early death from cardiovascular disease, right? Strokes and heart attacks and all the things. So I was very early diagnosed with tachycardia when I was 25. Let's see. And that was one of those doctors came running in the room saying, you didn't tell us you have a heart condition. And I'm like, I didn't know, And so then I saw a cardiologist regularly. 32-ish, I went to the hospital with some chest pains, and my mom's doctor was my cardiologist. And he said, hey, I know who your mom is. You're going in the cath lab. Right. And so I was 32 years old being taken to the cath lab. I mean, just imagine that. Now, thankfully, everything was okay. Still don't know what caused all the problems. But from that moment, it was like, okay, your cholesterol is out of control, and then a few years later, it was, well, you have high blood pressure, right? Which is something actually my mom had never dealt with. So that was a little bit of a shock. I was like, oh, okay. So 38 years old, took my husband on the strangest date ever. And the cardiologist looked me straight in the eye and said, I'm sorry to tell you that there's just not much you can do about this. You're going to be overweight. Yeah, you're going to have high cholesterol. You're going to have high blood pressure. You're going to need to take the medication. I know that's your favorite. And you're just going to have to do this for the rest of your life. And I tell everybody, I said, I think for about 36 hours, I was liberated because I had been trying everything under the sun. Right. And then I got angry. Frankly, I was just like, this is not right. Like, I should be able to handle this. And so took a few more years to find the answer. Finally found our program and our lifestyle, and it changed our lives. And I went from blood pressure medications, cholesterol medications, and this is my story. Results not typical, okay? No, I can't say anything to make any promises. I'm not a doctor. I'm telling you what happened for me. Migraine medications, all the things, and now last year I went to the doctor and had my blood work done, and I went to just a random doctor because I'd never go to the doctor anymore. And he walked in the room with my results and said, "How do you do this? How do you have this good of, lipid panel," right? Like, that's amazing. And that to me is a way bigger deal than the 50, 55 pounds. Like, well, such a big deal.
I have to say this, and if people are listening and have heard me before, they know I'm not against medication. I'm not. No. But if we don't have to be on it, and there's a way to get off of it, possibly, or to decrease it some, why wouldn't we want to do that? And I'm hoping that the cardiologist, after he saw your panel, was like, whatever you're doing, I want to give it to all my patients that way. I'm not telling people this is going to get them off of their medicines. No. This is a lifestyle change. If you make a lifestyle change, you will definitely, I can honestly say that, you will definitely see a change in you, whether it be less medication, no medication, living and better and feeling better. It's a whole gamut of everybody. I don't put people on medication. I don't take people off medication, but if I can give you an avenue to work towards and allowing you to change your life and possibly not take medication, why wouldn't I want to do that?
Oh, I always say, if I can have control of something, like if that's something I have control of, then I kind of feel like it's my responsibility to take control of it, right? And so that's not necessarily the most popular opinion, but it truly is. I'm like, oh, wait, if I can decide that these things don't serve me well, these old habits don't serve me well, whether it's nutrition, not moving my body, what I'm consuming in my mind, right? All of these things that we work through in our program, it's my responsibility to do that if I want to live the long, vibrant life that I plan to live.
Well, you know what? If you keep talking like that, I'm going to mute you because, like, now you're making me work. This is supposed to be easy. And it's give me a pill, let me take something, and I'll feel better. But in reality, I'm joking, of course. You know that this is not true. This is something that you have to do personally, and say, I'm going to make that change. If I don't make this change, my life may be cut short, or even worse, become somebody who's dependent on someone else to take care of me. And, I don't want to do that, and I'm going to get a little political here, Joe. So if they mute us, don't worry about it. Everybody's talking about universal health care. Well, universal health care is like going to the DMV to get your checkups. If you do any of that, and you think that healthcare in the future is going to be any better than it is now, forget it. It's not. So it is now time for us to make changes to prevent us from having major problems down the road. And that's why I signed up with you guys, because I physically have seen it, and I'm starting to program myself. I just haven't opened the box yet because I just got it. But and it's one of those things, and I got to say this real quick. I didn't do P90X for 3 months because I didn't open the box. But as soon as I saw results from someone else, I opened the box, and I've seen the results. So I'm opening the box,
Heck yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's not just food, because we talked about this, dieting is a 4-letter word. And what I told you today was, did I eat that? That's exactly how people feel when they diet. They're like, did I eat that? Yeah, you did. And now you're feeling this way. Mm-hmm. Like if I have a potato chip or something like that, I can't eat one. I eat 4 or 5 bags and I feel terrible about it. But I am making a conscious effort to change my life because I want to be someone who now becomes an advocate, not only for my health, but everybody else's health. And if I can be the example, like you ladies are examples, it's amazing what we can do as teams. This is not, and I want to tell people, this is a program, not a diet, because here's food, eat this, you feel good. It's a lifestyle and a mental change. And one of the things, and I have to say this, one of the things that made a huge difference with me talking to you about it is I have no idea about financial. I have no idea what it entails. All I know is I've seen results, and I want to be part of those results for other people. That's it. And for myself, not just for other people. There is no way that I don't want to be involved in something that's going to help my patients. Because, you were talking about heart disease. You were talking about hypoglycemia. We're talking about diabetes before earlier today. But one of the things that I see is musculoskeletal problems because of inflammatory diseases, and inflammatory diseases are directly related to foods, and I will tell you this, young girls that are dealing with acne, young boys that are dealing with acne, it's food. I'm a 60-year-old man, and if I eat the wrong stuff, I get acne. Is that not incredible? It just does. When I was at my mom's, if I would have wore a Guinea t-shirt, that's a wife beater, and I could have been sitting there with sauce on my shirt and be like, oh, this is good stuff. I can eat this. Give me a cup of coffee and give me some another piece of cheesecake or something. It's ridiculous, but I want to see a difference in my life, and that's why we're doing all of this. I don't know, Joe. What do you think about all of this?
I agree that what you eat can definitely affect the way you feel, and I think once you're on that drive-through, diet, some people call it diet. When you're hitting the drive-through 2 or 3 times a week, sometimes more, you kind of get in a routine. You get used to it, and you feel terrible all day, every day, and it's just part of your day. You don't really think about it. But then when you start eating healthy, not only will your blood work improve, but for me, my knees felt a lot better and things like that. It's all about the energy, and you can't replace just feeling better every day. You're getting around faster. You're just feeling so much better. And when you get in that routine, as the guests have said, it's once that fat burning starts, it really cranks up and it gets going at a high level, and that weight can come off pretty quick.
Now I'm going to ask the question, ladies. You've been involved in this program for a while. What are some of the things or walls that you hit with people? Like, I'm just in my mind thinking about this. I don't want to stop eating, because I talk about not eating gluten and sugar. And when I say this, like, Doc, what are you trying to kill me? I love my pasta. I love my pizza. I don't know what to say to that at that point. It's a mindset, absolutely a mindset. But that's the thing, is getting someone to do a mindset. And what we talked about earlier, if you don't want to do this, don't spend the money to do this. If you're not going to be all in, then don't do it. It's not, like you said, it's not food. It's a whole lifestyle change. And I think that's what appeals to me the most, because I need something that's very cerebral rather than something you go, here, follow this plan. I'm not a good plan follower.
So we always say our clients, we want them to be ready, right? You have to be ready to make the changes in the way you think. Right. And so in the way we associate the mindsets, you said the word a minute ago when I was pointing to my head. Right. And so the mindsets, and you asked me, what are the things that we come up against with clients the most? Mindsets, perfectionism, all or nothing mindset. The idea that if you have one dessert on Friday night, your whole week is blown. So you might as well wait again until Monday. Right. And so when actually, we always say you're always 3 hours away from your next best choice, because we eat 6 times a day, right? Or at least the next morning, right? So it's a mindset thing, and that's what's really sets us apart, right? And we've talked about this. What really sets this program apart is the coaching and the work on what's happening between your ears. We always say, if you can control what's happening between your ears and what's happening in your heart, then you can control what goes in and out of your mouth.
Absolutely. You said something really interesting. Mindset. The mindset that we have, that's the hard thing to change. But once we get the mindset changed, we're going to make a huge difference in where we're going to go. Well, ladies, it's been a short time. I can't believe this. It's been like flies by. Everybody goes, "Oh my gosh, Joe, do we need 2 hours or what? 3 hours? I'm
3
telling
hours,
you,
4 hours, all of them.
we could do it. We need to talk cumulus about. You know what? Dr. Nick needs 3 hours. Come on, give him something. We got something to do here. I mean, we have too much fun doing this. Joe, we're about done, aren't we?
It's time to go, brother.
Guys, it's been great. It's been awesome. Ladies, thank you so much. We love you. God bless, and we'll see you next week.